afterwards. Let's take you right back to Soweto then. The memorial service of the late struggle icon Rita Ndzanga is underway at the Dlamini Multipurpose Centre. The 88-year-old ANC veteran passed away peacefully at her home in Soweto on Wednesday night. I do believe a former president, Thabo Mbeki, is currently speaking. Let's take you live there.
Comrades, we know who we are talking about. These are the comrades and leaders and people who conducted the mass struggles from the 50s, which in the end brought us our liberation. I suppose the further away we are from that history, the more we forget what happened, and the more we forget its importance. Without those mass struggles, we would not be where we are today. Without the enormous sacrifices that were made by our people, including our youth in 1976 and onwards, we would not be where we are today. Without the women's struggles, in which Comrade Rita was central, without the workers' struggles in which she was central, without organizations like SACTU, like FEDRO, and others, I'm saying we would not be where we are today. So we pay tribute to her because she is therefore an important architect of our liberation. When 1994 came, the movement decided that she needed to play another role. And we sent her to Parliament. Again, I think the longer we move away from those sorts of years, 1994 onwards, the more we forget the important work that was done by our comrades like Rita Ndzanga in that Parliament. These are the people who, the comrades, who participated in the important process of the final removal of apartheid laws. They are the comrades who created the structures which our Constitution requires. Whether you are talking public protector, electoral commission, gender commission, all of these structures came from comrades like Comrade Rita and the others who served in our Parliament. They defined the kind of South Africa we want, the South Africa for which they had struggled. It is correct that we meet today, as she has left us, to recall the important work that she did. It is unfortunate that she has left. Because she has left us with an enormous task, which is what do we do with the liberation for which she fought, which she brought about? What do we do with these outstanding tasks of our movement and struggle? Millions of our people remain poor. She didn't want that. Millions are unemployed with little hope that they are going to get a job tomorrow. We remain with this very painful and challenging diseases in our society, like the matter with which we are correctly preoccupied, which is an end to the violence against women and children. It's correct that we focus on that. But I think we should also broaden our focus to talk about the general violence in our society. Just a few days ago, the police and the Minister of Police issued the latest crime statistics. If you look at the section which talks about violence against people, and the first crime there is murder. And what is very striking, comrades, about that is that the biggest cause of murder is quarrels and misunderstandings. The biggest single cause of murder is because I quarrel here with Nomvula, we misunderstand each other, I take out a knife or a gun and shoot her. I mean, what kind of society is that? What kind of society are we? You would see the top 3 causes of murder. They talk about a society which is very, very violent. And women and children become easy victims. I'm saying Comrade Rita would not have been comfortable with that reality. It must be addressed. The leadership of the comrade from the women's task team of the Women's League, she said we must never attack the ANC in public. She's right. But I hope she didn't mean that we should not point out what is wrong with our society. Comrades, here, we are here in Soweto. There's something that's very, very disturbing, which has been happening over the last few years. That as we go to vote, the number of people in Soweto voting for the ANC keeps dropping, keeps going down. Including in the last elections. Why is that? We can't say it's the people who are wrong. There's something wrong with us. So I'm not criticizing the ANC, I'm criticizing us. There is something wrong that we are doing, and the population are saying, you are not behaving like the ANC we know. So something must change. I think something must change, first of all, in the way we behave as members of the ANC. The ANC Veterans League, for which Comrade Ndzanga was speaking, have drawn attention to what the leadership of our movement, what our movement has been saying, at least since 1994. If you look, comrades, at all of the conferences of the ANC, up to the last one now in 2017, all of them, without exception, have been saying that since we came into government, we have been attracting into our ranks wrong people. You know, before during the years of struggle, the struggle that led by comrades like Comrade Rita, Ndzanga, activists like her, there was nobody who said, I want to be a president. No, none. No, nobody who said, Ndiketeni. But today, baninzi ondiketeni. Rita Ndzanga never said Ndiketeni. What put her where she is, which we celebrate today, was her selfless contribution to the struggle. That's what defined her as our leader, the leader that we celebrate today. The task, therefore, comrades, I think, question that we must ask ourselves is what do we do to reproduce Rita Ndzanga, to have many more Rita Ndzangas among us, not these other people. I'm saying the Veterans League says, look at all of our conferences, and they all say, we are beginning to attract into our ranks people who join the ANC because the ANC is a ladder, it's a step ladder to power. So that we can use that power to put money in our pockets. You know, one of our comrades, I won't give his name, you know him very well, came from here, from Soweto. He says to me one day, he's been talking to some of the leadership of the ANC in Johannesburg. And he says, Comrade President, they are not quite happy with you. So I said to him, why? They said, you see, you know, He does not know the value of money, they say. And you see, I want to take a little bit from public funds. Little, not too much. Just a little bit. But what's wrong with him, that's me, is that he does not even agree to that. If only he would agree, I take a little bit, that would be fine. I'm saying, comrades, that's these conferences that the Veterans League is talking about are saying inevitably we've attracted people like that. And so you get Nelson Mandela, 1997, says you find the comrades fighting in the movement, there are divisions, and very tense and so on, and comrades are boxing one another. And when you look, it's not political differences, it's not ideological differences, it's a struggle for power. You see this phenomenon, comrades, of people, particularly at the municipal level, people being killed, people being murdered, because I want to be the councillor, not him. That's why I'm saying, comrades, I think our major task is to answer this question: how do we reproduce more Rita Ndzangas? We're very, very fortunate that our movement has taken a very, very important decision that the ANC needs renewal. That's a movement decision, a conference decision. We need to renew the ANC. If we don't renew the ANC will die. We've been very, very fortunate. For instance, with the population here in Soweto, I'm saying we've stayed away. Numbers of them increasing, those people who don't vote for us. I'm saying fortunate in this sense that they have not deserted to other parties. They are saying to us, become the ANC that we know. Undertake this renewal, which has been decided by conference. Now, comrade, it's going to be very painful. If we're loyal to the ANC and its history and its values and to Rita Ndzanga, that renewal process is going to be very painful. How do we renew the ANC? Say the ANC is renewed. When this person who joined the ANC for wrong reasons remains a member, what then has been renewed? Nothing. That means, comrades, this is going to be a very difficult process. In fact, to renew the ANC. There must be some way by which, fortunately, the leadership has started doing something about this. Recall, for instance, just now, after the local government elections, the comrades were put forward as candidate mayors. The national leadership put a process in place to check all of these people who are candidates, candidate mayors, to make an estimate whether these people are really fit to be ANC mayors. It was a very, very important process in recognition of the fact that I've got a membership card, I can recite the Freedom Charter from beginning to end. I toe with my knees high up like that. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm ANC. It means I'm a good performer. Yeah. So I'm saying, comrades, the process of renewal is very, very important, very urgent, must happen. It's going to be very difficult, very challenging. But I think we owe it to Rita Ndzanga and others like her to do something about the ANC. We can't have a situation that you have people popping up who are corrupt, and each one will put up, that one is ANC, and the next one is ANC, not that one ANC. In the end, people say the ANC is corrupt. The ANC is not corrupt. But the ANC carries within its ranks people who are corrupt. Yeah. And to renew itself, it must get rid of those kinds of people. And we're very, very fortunate in another respect, that we can't cheat the masses of the people. You can't. The masses of the people know who is wrong, who is bad among us. I'm sure you can go through all of the townships here in Soweto. And the people would say, but we're wondering, why is the ANC keeping so-and-so? So I'm saying we're very, very fortunate in that, therefore, we've got this examiner who is the masses of our people. It's them who are going to give us the marks to say you have passed. So I'm therefore saying when we engage the masses in the process of renewal, it has to be genuine. It has to be genuine, not a show, a pretense. Because the people will discover that we are pretending and will punish us. It's very, very painful, comrades, these days to listen to what people are saying. You get political parties which are very, very bold to say, we are here to destroy the ANC. Come 2024, in those elections, the ANC will be so reduced that it has to join a coalition. I'm saying it's very, very painful, because then we have to ask ourselves the question, what have we done to ourselves? That you would have people with that kind of courage. I am determined to make sure that the ANC is destroyed. And that is not criticism of the ANC, comrades. The leadership of the Women's League said we must not. But that's a reality we've got to deal with so many of us here. I'm very, very glad that all of us here are foot soldiers of this ANC, genuine foot soldiers. And as we say farewell to Comrade Ndzanga, we're making a commitment to her, to say to her, as we say farewell to you, we're making a commitment that we are going to rebuild this ANC about which she was very worried. I'm very, very glad that I'm saying we meet here to say farewell to her, but also to make that commitment. But comrades, thank you very much for coming and for this great enthusiasm that you've shown about Comrade Rita Ndzanga. And thank you, therefore, for making this commitment I'm talking about. We will renew ourselves. And there's nobody, no party in this country which has the possibility to defeat that ANC. But I'm talking about the renewed ANC. That one will not be defeated. Amandla, thank you very much, comrades.